Imagine a land where the earth still speaks, where rivers roar with ancient power, and plains stretch beyond the horizon, untouched and alive. A place where wildlife moves freely, communities thrive in harmony with nature, and every sunrise paints a new story across the sky. Welcome to Zambia, a land of wonder, mystery, and awe, where adventure awakens every sense and every moment feels larger than life. From the thunder of Victoria Falls to the quiet rhythm of hidden wetlands, this is a journey into the heart of Africa's last great wilderness, a story of life, resilience, and beauty that has remained untamed for centuries. Step into the wild and let Zambia show you a world you'll never forget. What if there was still a place on Earth where nature speaks louder than cities, where rivers write their own stories, and where the wild remains truly wild? Welcome to Zambia, a land untouched by excess, unshaped by crowds, and rich with a raw beauty that feels almost forgotten by time. This is not just a destination, it is a feeling, a deep breath taken far from the noise of the modern world, where every horizon promises discovery. Zambia rests quietly at the heart of southern Africa, yet its presence is powerful. It is a country shaped by water and wilderness, by vast skies and ancient rhythms. Here, the land stretches wide and open, inviting you not to rush, but to listen. The wind through tall grass, the distant call of birds, and the steady flow of rivers form a soundtrack that feels older than memory itself. This is a place where nature is not contained, it is respected. Zambia's landscapes unfold slowly, revealing layers of beauty with patience. Golden savannas roll endlessly beneath dramatic skies. Forests breathe with life, and rivers carve paths that nourish everything they touch. The Zambezi River, one of Africa's greatest lifelines, flows with quiet confidence through the land, shaping ecosystems, cultures, and destinies long before borders ever existed. Zambia is often called one of Africa's last great wildernesses, and that title is earned. Vast areas remain untouched, allowing wildlife to roam freely and ecosystems to thrive naturally. Elephants move in ancient migration paths. Antelope disappear into tall grass, and predators move silently through the shadows. Here, animals are not attractions, they are residents, living according to rhythms that have never changed. But Zambia's greatest strength is not only in its landscapes. It lives in its people, warm, welcoming, and deeply connected to the land. Zambians carry a sense of calm and resilience shaped by generations of coexistence with nature. Life moves at a human pace here. Conversations are unhurried, smiles come easily, and community remains central to everyday life. In villages and towns alike, traditions are not preserved for show. They are lived, practiced, and passed on with pride. The spirit of Zambia is deeply rooted in balance between people and wildlife, between progress and preservation, between silence and celebration. This harmony is felt everywhere in the way farmers work the land, in the rituals that honor ancestors, and in the stories shared beneath starlit skies. Even the cities, modest and vibrant, reflect this rhythm, blending modern life with cultural continuity. Zambia is also a land of contrasts. Gentle rivers transform into roaring waterfalls. Quiet plains erupt with life at sunrise. Stillness gives way to sudden movement, reminding us that nature here is alive, unpredictable, and powerful. This contrast is what makes Zambia unforgettable, a place where serenity and strength exist side by side. As the sun rises over the horizon, the land glows with soft light, revealing endless possibilities. Morning mist lifts slowly from the rivers. Birds take flight. The wilderness awakens. In these moments, Zambia feels eternal, untouched by urgency, unconcerned with time. It invites you not to conquer it, but to experience it with humility and wonder. This journey through Zambia is not about checking destinations off a list. It is about reconnecting with something deeper, a reminder of what the world looked like before it was reshaped, and what it can still be when nature is allowed to lead. Zambia does not overwhelm you with spectacle alone. It draws you in with authenticity, with space, with silence, and with truth. As this journey begins, one thing becomes clear. Zambia is not a place you simply visit. It is a place you feel in your breath, in your stillness, and in your soul. And once you step into its world, it never truly lets you go. There are places on Earth where nature does not whisper, it roars, where the land reminds humanity of its true scale and power. Victoria Falls is one of those places. Known locally as Mozi Oatonya, the smoke that thunders. This natural wonder is not simply seen or heard, it is felt deep in the chest, long before it comes into view. As the Zambezi River approaches the edge, it appears calm, almost gentle. Wide and slow-moving, its surface reflects the sky, as if unaware of what lies ahead. Then, without warning, the river vanishes. The ground opens into a vast chasm, and more than half a kilometer of water plunges into the depths below. The transformation is sudden and overwhelming serenity, turning instantly into raw, unstoppable force. The sound arrives first, a deep, rolling thunder that grows louder with every step forward. It is not a single noise, but a continuous echo, water colliding with rock, air, and itself. The earth vibrates. The mist rises like towering clouds, visible from miles away, drifting skyward and catching the sunlight to form endless rainbows. This is why the falls earned their ancient name, smoke that does not burn, thunder that never rests. Standing at the edge, scale becomes meaningless. The falls stretch endlessly across the horizon, a curtain of white water crashing into darkness. Millions of liters pour over the edge every second, carving the gorge deeper with timeless patience. No camera can truly capture it. No words fully describe it. Victoria Falls is an experience that humbles, reminding every visitor how small they are in the presence of true natural power. Yet, despite its force, the falls possess a strange beauty, almost spiritual. Rainbows dance constantly in the mist. Sunlight filters through drifting clouds of spray. The surrounding rainforest thrives, nourished by perpetual moisture, alive with birds, vines, and towering trees. This lush green sanctuary exists because of the falls, a living testament to how destruction and creation coexist in perfect balance. For centuries, local communities have regarded this place with deep respect. Long before explorers arrived, the falls were sacred, a site of reverence, storytelling, and spiritual connection. Elders spoke of spirits dwelling within the gorge, guardians of the river and land. Even today, that sense of reverence remains. There is a silence that falls over visitors, an instinctive understanding that this is not merely a tourist destination, but a place of power and memory. The Zambezi River does not end here, it transforms. After its dramatic descent, it surges through narrow basalt gorges, twisting and carving its way through rock like a living force refusing to be contained. Below the falls, the river becomes fierce and fast, its energy undeniable. This journey continues for thousands of kilometers, shaping ecosystems, sustaining communities, and reminding all who depend on it that water is life. At sunrise, Victoria Falls awakens in soft light. The mist glows gold, birds cut through the sky, and the roar feels almost gentle. By midday, the sun intensifies the spectacle. Rainbows multiply, and the air is alive with motion. At sunset, the falls become a silhouette of power mist, turning pink, orange, and purple as the day fades. Each moment reveals a different personality, a different emotion. What makes Victoria Falls truly unforgettable is not just its size, but its presence. It demands attention. It commands respect. It leaves no room for distraction. In its thunder, there is clarity. In its mist, there is renewal. In its endless motion, there is a reminder that nature does not pause, does not compromise, and does not forget. This chapter of Zambia's story is written in water and stone, a story of strength, balance, and awe. Victoria Falls stands as a symbol of the country itself, powerful yet graceful, ancient yet alive, overwhelming yet deeply grounding. As you step away, the sound lingers. The mist clings to your skin. The memory stays vivid, and you realize that witnessing Victoria Falls is not just seeing one of the world's greatest natural wonders. It is standing face to face with the untamed heart of Africa, beating endlessly, thundering forever. Beyond the thunder of Victoria Falls, the Zambezi River continues its long, timeless journey, calmer now, yet still, carrying the immense power of what it has just become. Here, the river reveals another side of its character, one defined not by force, but by life, rhythm, and connection. This stretch of the Zambezi is the quiet storyteller of Zambia, shaping landscapes, sustaining wildlife, and anchoring human life along its ever-moving path. As the river widens, its surface smooths into gentle currents that reflect the sky like liquid glass. Mornings begin softly, with mist lifting from the water and birds skimming the surface in graceful arcs. The air feels heavy with calm, broken only by the splash of a fish or the distant call of wildlife. In these moments, the Zambezi feels eternal, unhurried, patient, and deeply aware of the land it nourishes. Life gathers at the river's edge. Elephants move silently through reeds to drink, their massive forms mirrored in the water below. Hippos surface with slow, deliberate motions, claiming territories that have existed for generations. Crocodiles lie motionless along the banks, ancient and watchful, blending perfectly into the environment. The river is not a barrier here. It is a gathering place, a shared lifeline for every creature that depends on it. For the people of Zambia, the Zambezi is more than a river. It is a provider, a guide, and a constant companion. Fishing communities rise with the sun, launching narrow wooden boats into the current with practiced ease. Nets are cast, lines are set, and generations of knowledge guide each movement. These traditions are not written down. They are learned through observation, repetition, and respect for the river's moods. Along the banks, villages exist in harmony with the flow of water. Homes are positioned carefully, fields planted with awareness of seasonal changes. Life here is dictated by the river's rhythm when it rises, when it recedes, when it brings abundance, and when it demands patience. The Zambezi teaches resilience, adaptability, and humility, lessons passed quietly from parent to child. As the sun climbs higher, the river transforms once again. Golden light spills across the surface, igniting ripples into shimmering patterns. Birds gather in abundance fish, eagles perched high above, their calls echoing across the water, herons stalking silently in shallow edges, and flocks of smaller birds darting between trees. The Zambezi becomes a moving canvas of sound, color, and life. Afternoons carry a gentle heat, slowing movement and deepening stillness. Boats drift quietly, allowing the river to lead. This is a place where silence feels full rather than empty, where every pause reveals something new, a distant splash, a ripple that breaks the surface, a breeze that moves through tall grass. Time here is measured, not in hours, but in moments. As evening approaches, the river prepares for rest. The sky turns amber, then deep orange, then purple, reflected perfectly in the calm water below. Animals return once more to drink. Fishermen make their final journeys of the day, silhouettes against the glowing horizon. The Zambezi absorbs the fading light, carrying it gently downstream as night settles in. Darkness does not silence the river, it deepens its voice. Insects hum, frogs call, and the distant sounds of wildlife echo softly across the water. Stars appear overhead, mirrored faintly in the slow-moving current. In this darkness, the river feels even more powerful, holding centuries of memory beneath its surface. This stretch of the Zambezi tells a different story than the falls one of continuity, rather than spectacle. It is the story of coexistence, of a landscape where water shapes life without domination. The river does not demand attention here. It earns trust. It teaches those who live beside it to listen, observe, and adapt. As this chapter closes, one truth becomes clear. The Zambezi is not just a river flowing through Zambia. It is the country's heartbeat. Quiet yet constant, gentle yet unbreakable. It carries life forward just as it always has. And in its steady movement, it reminds us that true power does not always roar. Sometimes, it flows silently, shaping everything it touches. As the land stretches eastward from the great river valleys, Zambia reveals one of its most powerful, yet lesser-known treasures. Vast national parks, where nature exists almost entirely on its own terms. Here, wilderness is not curated or controlled. It breathes freely, moves without fences, and unfolds at its own ancient pace. This is Zambia at its wildest, where landscapes feel untouched, and every moment carries the raw energy of survival. The journey into these protected lands begins quietly. Dirt roads cut through tall grass, dust rising slowly behind passing vehicles. The air feels different here, heavier, richer, alive with possibility. There are no crowds, no noise, no sense of performance. Instead, there is space, endless space. Space for animals to roam, for ecosystems to balance themselves, and for silence to speak louder than words. South Luangwa National Park stands as one of Zambia's greatest natural sanctuaries. It is often called the birthplace of walking safaris, and for good reason. Here, the land invites you to step closer, not as a spectator behind glass, but as a humble guest on foot. Every footprint in the sand, every broken twig, every distant sound becomes part of the experience. Awareness sharpens. The wilderness demands attention. The Luangwa River winds through the park like a living artery, shaping floodplains that attract extraordinary wildlife. Herds of elephants move gracefully between trees, their movements slow and deliberate. Giraffes tower above the landscape, feeding quietly from high branches. Antelope species unique to this region scatter across open plains, their alert eyes always scanning the horizon. Predators rule these lands with silent authority. Leopards rest in trees during daylight hours, their spotted coats blending perfectly with branches and shadows. As dusk approaches, they descend, transforming into ghosts of the night. Lions patrol the plains with confidence, their presence felt even before they are seen. Every encounter feels earned, never guaranteed, and therefore unforgettable. What makes Zambia's wilderness so powerful is its rhythm. Life here follows ancient patterns dictated by seasons rather than schedules. During the dry months, animals gather near remaining water sources, creating dramatic scenes of survival and interaction. In the wet season, the land explodes into green abundance, rivers swell, and life disperses once again across the plains. Beyond South Luangwa, parks like Lower Zambezi and Kafue expand the story of untamed beauty. Kafue National Park, one of the largest in Africa, feels endless in scale. Its vast plains, wetlands, and forests create diverse habitats where wildlife thrives away from human pressure. Here, patience is rewarded. Sightings unfold slowly, naturally, without urgency. Lower Zambezi offers a different experience altogether. Framed by escarpments and flowing water, this park blends river life with land-based drama. Canoe safaris drift silently past elephants drinking at the shore. Hippos watch cautiously from the water. Birds rise suddenly into flight, filling the sky with movement and sound. The river becomes both pathway and witness. What truly defines Zambia's national parks is their authenticity. These are not places shaped for convenience or spectacle. They remain wild, unpredictable, and deeply real. Conservation here is not about display. It is about protection, balance, and respect. Rangers work tirelessly, often unseen, to preserve ecosystems that belong not just to Zambia, but to the world. As night falls in the bush, the wilderness transforms. Campfires glow softly beneath vast, star-filled skies. The sounds of nocturnal life emerge, distant roars, rustling grass, rhythmic calls echoing through darkness. In these moments, modern life feels impossibly far away. The wilderness becomes immersive, humbling, and deeply grounding. This chapter of Zambia is a reminder of what the world once was and what it still can be. A place where humans are visitors, not rulers. Where life unfolds without permission. Where nature tells its story honestly, without filters or exaggeration. And in witnessing it, we are reminded that true wonder is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes, it is found in the quiet power of land, left wild. As the sun rises higher over Zambia, the land reveals a different kind of wonder. One shaped not only by nature, but by human history, resilience, and deep-rooted tradition. This chapter moves beyond wilderness and into the living heart of the country, where culture is not preserved behind museum glass, but practiced daily, passed through generations, and woven into everyday life. Zambia is home to more than 70 ethnic groups, each carrying its own language, customs, and worldview. Yet across this diversity runs a powerful sense of unity. Community here is not a concept, it is a way of life. Villages are built around shared responsibility, where stories, meals, celebrations, and challenges are faced together. Time moves differently in these spaces, guided by seasons, ceremonies, and relationships, rather than clocks. One of the most profound expressions of Zambian culture is found in its traditional ceremonies. These gatherings are not performances for outsiders, but sacred moments that honor ancestors, nature, and the continuity of life. The Kwamboka ceremony of the Lozi people stands as one of the most visually striking. Each year, as floodwaters rise along the Zambezi plains, the king makes a ceremonial journey from the flooded lowlands to higher ground. Drums echo across the water, dancers move in rhythm, and a massive royal barge glides forward not just as spectacle, but as a symbol of survival, leadership, and harmony with nature. Music pulses through Zambia's cultural identity. Drums speak in complex rhythms, carrying messages understood far beyond sound. Songs tell stories of love, struggle, faith, and history. Dance becomes language movements reflecting animals, farming cycles, and spiritual beliefs. In rural villages and bustling towns alike, music emerges naturally, unplanned, unfiltered, alive. Zambia's towns and cities offer another layer of discovery. Lusaka, the capital, is vibrant and fast-growing, yet deeply connected to tradition. Markets overflow with color, fresh produce, handmade crafts, woven baskets, and carved wooden figures. Here, bargaining is not confrontation, but conversation. Smiles are exchanged, stories are shared. Every object carries the mark of human hands and heritage. Craftsmanship in Zambia reflects both utility and beauty. Baskets woven from natural fibers serve daily needs while displaying intricate patterns passed down over centuries. Wood carvings depict animals, ancestral figures, and spiritual symbols. Each piece carries meaning beyond decoration, a quiet reflection of belief, respect, and identity. Food brings people together in powerful ways. Meals are communal, eaten with hands, shared generously. Nishima, the staple dish made from maize, forms the center of nearly every table. It is paired with vegetables, beans, fish, or meat, depending on region and season. The act of eating is slow, intentional, and social, a reminder that nourishment is as much about connection as it is about sustenance. Hospitality defines the Zambian spirit. Strangers are welcomed with warmth that feels immediate and sincere. Conversations begin easily. Laughter flows freely, and help is offered without expectation. This openness is not rehearsed, it is lived. It reflects a worldview where people matter deeply, and relationships hold lasting value. Even as modern influences grow, Zambia's cultural roots remain strong. Mobile phones, urban development, and global trends exist alongside ancestral customs, not in opposition, but in balance. Tradition adapts without disappearing. Identity evolves without being erased. As evening settles, villages glow softly with firelight. Elders share stories beneath open skies, voices carrying wisdom shaped by time. Children listen, learning not just history, but values, respect, patience, courage, and belonging. In these moments, Zambia reveals one of its greatest wonders, a culture that survives not by resisting change, but by grounding it in meaning. This chapter reminds us that Zambia's beauty is not only found in landscapes or wildlife, but in its people, in their stories, in their rhythms, in their unwavering connection to land, community, and spirit. It is here, within human experience, that the soul of Zambia truly comes alive. As the journey continues deeper into Zambia, the land begins to move, breathe, and reveal one of its greatest treasures, wildlife in its purest, most untouched form. This is a country where nature still rules, where animals roam freely across vast landscapes, and where the rhythm of life follows ancient patterns unchanged by time. Zambia is often called one of Africa's last true wildernesses, and here, that title feels deserved. Unlike crowded safari destinations, Zambia offers space endless horizons where rivers carve paths through plains, forests stretch without fences, and wildlife exists without performance or predictability. Every sighting feels earned, every moment deeply personal. The national parks of Zambia, are the guardians of this wild soul. South Luangwa, often described as the birthplace of the walking safari, offers an intimate encounter with nature. Here, you do not observe wildlife from a distance, you step into its world. Guided on foot, every sound matters. The snap of a twig, the distant call of a bird, the imprint of fresh tracks in the soil, each detail sharpens awareness and respect. Elephants move silently through mopane woodlands, their presence both gentle and immense. Leopards rest in the branches of ancient trees, perfectly camouflaged, watching patiently as the day unfolds. Lions claim the night with low, echoing roars that travel across the plains, a reminder that this land is still wild, still alive. Along the rivers, life gathers in breathtaking abundance. The Luangwa and Zambezi rivers are lifelines, drawing animals from miles away. Hippos crowd the water, their grunts rising like distant thunder. Crocodiles lie motionless along the banks, ancient and watchful. Herds of buffalo arrive in numbers so vast they seem endless, stirring dust and energy with every step. Bird life in Zambia transforms the sky into a living canvas. Hundreds of species flash color and sound through wetlands, forests, and open plains. From powerful fish eagles calling from treetops to delicate bee-eaters dancing through the air, the diversity is astonishing. For many, Zambia is not just a safari destination, it is a sanctuary of sound and flight. Lower Zambezi National Park offers a different perspective, where water and land intertwine seamlessly. Canoe safaris glide silently past elephants drinking at the river's edge, past antelope standing alert among reeds, past sunsets that paint the sky in gold and fire. There is no barrier between observer and observed, only quiet respect. What makes Zambia's wildlife experience truly special is its balance. Conservation here is not about control, but coexistence. Local communities play an essential role in protecting the land, understanding that wildlife is not separate from human life, but part of a shared future. Efforts to preserve habitats, support ecotourism, and protect endangered species reflect a deep awareness of responsibility. In the remote reaches of Kafue National Park, one of Africa's largest protected areas, the wilderness feels endless. Plains stretch to the horizon, broken only by rivers and seasonal wetlands. Rare species thrive here, animals adapted to isolation and space. The silence is profound, interrupted only by wind, water, and distant calls that feel almost timeless. As daylight fades, the bush transforms. Shadows lengthen, temperatures cool, and nocturnal life awakens. Stars emerge with breathtaking clarity, untouched by city light. Sitting beneath this vast sky, surrounded by unseen life, there is a powerful realization: humanity is not above nature here, but within it. This chapter reveals Zambia as a place where wildlife is not staged or simplified. It is raw, unpredictable, and deeply moving. Every encounter carries humility. Every moment reminds us of the fragile beauty of a world that still remembers how to be wild. In Zambia, nature does not perform for an audience. It simply exists, powerful, patient, and unforgettable. As the journey through Zambia continues, the land begins to rise and fall in powerful rhythm, revealing landscapes shaped by water, time, and raw geological force. This chapter is a story of rivers that carve continents, lakes that hold ancient secrets, and natural wonders that command both awe and silence. Water defines Zambia's spirit. From vast floodplains to hidden streams, it shapes life, movement, and meaning. At the heart of this watery world lies the Zambezi River, one of Africa's greatest lifelines. Flowing wide and steady, it nourishes ecosystems, sustains communities, and carries stories older than history itself. Along its banks, fishermen cast nets at dawn, elephants cross with quiet confidence, and villages rise in harmony with seasonal change. Then, without warning, the river transforms. Its calm strength gives way to thunder. The ground trembles. The air fills with mist. Victoria Falls emerges, not merely seen, but felt. Known locally as the smoke that thunders, this immense curtain of water plunges into a deep gorge, releasing a roar that echoes for miles. Standing near the edge, surrounded by rainbows and spray, the scale defies comprehension. It is nature at its most dramatic, a reminder of Earth's unmatched power. Yet Zambia's water wonders extend far beyond this iconic site. In the north, Lake Tanganyika stretches like an inland sea, one of the deepest and oldest lakes on the planet. Its clear waters hold rare species found nowhere else on Earth. Life here moves at a gentle pace. Fishing boats glide across the surface. Children play along the shore, and the horizon feels endless. The lake is not just water. It is history, science, and sustenance combined. Seasonal floodplains offer another transformation. When rains arrive, flat landscapes become shimmering wetlands, attracting wildlife in spectacular numbers. Birds arrive in waves, fish spawn in abundance, and grazing animals follow the fresh growth. These cycles are not disasters, but blessings renewing the land year after year. Hidden within forests and hills, waterfalls tumble quietly, unseen by crowds. Streams carve narrow gorges, their waters cool and clear. Natural pools form sanctuaries where the world slows, inviting reflection. These lesser-known places reveal a softer side of Zambia's wild beauty, intimate, serene, and deeply grounding. Zambia's geological story is written in stone as well as water. Rock formations rise like ancient guardians, shaped by erosion over millions of years. Caves hold echoes of early human life, offering glimpses into humanity's deep connection with this land. Walking through these spaces feels like stepping through time itself. What makes Zambia's natural wonders truly special is their authenticity. There is no separation between spectacle and life. Rivers are not fenced. Waterfalls are not staged. Nature exists on its own terms, wild and uncontained. Visitors do not dominate the landscape. They are humbled by it. As the sun sets over water, reflections stretch endlessly. The sky burns orange, purple, and gold, mirrored in rivers and lakes below. Silence settles, broken only by distant calls and flowing currents. In these moments, Zambia reveals a profound truth that beauty does not need to be loud to be powerful. This chapter reminds us that Zambia's wonders are not isolated landmarks, but interconnected systems: water feeding land, land supporting life, life shaping culture. It is a living balance, fragile yet resilient. Here, in the flow of rivers and the fall of water, Zambia speaks its deepest language, one of movement, endurance, and awe. Beyond the rivers, waterfalls, and sprawling plains, Zambia reveals yet another layer of its beauty: its vast wetlands, serene lakes, and hidden waterways that seem untouched by time. Here, water moves differently. It does not thunder or roar. It glides, reflects, and nurtures life in quiet abundance. In these tranquil landscapes, the pulse of Zambia slows, offering moments of introspection and wonder, a contrast to the raw drama of the falls and the energy of the savannah. The Bangweulu wetlands in the north are among Africa's most extraordinary ecosystems. Spanning thousands of square kilometers, these shallow waters and flooded grasslands form a sanctuary for wildlife. Birds gather in enormous flocks, filling the sky with color and movement. Pelicans, herons, and storks glide across the water, their reflections creating a delicate mirror of the heavens above. The wetlands are also home to unique species, such as the black lechwe, whose reddish-brown coats gleam against the water, moving gracefully through the reeds. Observing them is like stepping into a living painting, every frame vibrant, every movement purposeful. Fishing communities thrive along these waterways. Small boats drift silently at dawn, their nets dipping into calm waters. Generations of families have honed techniques passed down through centuries, working in harmony with nature rather than against it. Life here is not rushed. Crops, fish, and waterfowl all follow the seasonal rhythms. It is a delicate balance, one that has sustained both people and wildlife for generations. The Bangweulu wetlands remind visitors that harmony is not an abstract concept, but a tangible reality. Further south, the sprawling Lake Tanganyika and Lake Kariba showcase Zambia's aquatic diversity. Lake Kariba, one of the largest artificial lakes in the world, blends human ingenuity with natural beauty. Its shimmering surface stretches to the horizon, bordered by rolling hills and islands that emerge like hidden treasures. Here, fishing is both livelihood and tradition. Sunsets cast molten gold across the water, while distant calls of fish eagles echo above, blending human presence with the untamed. The wetlands also serve as a seasonal theater for migration and breeding. During the rains, grasses submerge beneath shallow floods, transforming the landscape into a watery paradise. Hippos surface in clusters, crocodiles glide silently, and countless birds lay their eggs, feeding the next generation. This abundance draws predators as well, reminding all that even in calm waters, life is dynamic, intricate, and unrelenting. Observing these interactions is a lesson in patience, awareness, and respect for ecosystems that have endured for millennia. The quiet waterways of Zambia also offer an intimate connection to the land. Canoe journeys through narrow channels reveal hidden life, a crocodile's eye glimmering between reeds, a rare bird alighting on a branch, the delicate ripple of a fish breaking the surface. Here, the pace of exploration slows. Every sound, movement, and reflection matters. Nature is not rushed, and neither should those who witness it be. Beyond the immediate beauty, these aquatic regions highlight Zambia's commitment to conservation. Efforts to protect wetlands, regulate fishing, and monitor wildlife populations ensure that these ecosystems remain healthy, resilient, and sustainable. Visitors witness a balance where human activity exists not as a threat, but as a participant in a living landscape. As dusk falls, water reflects the fiery colors of the setting sun. The sky transitions from deep gold to violet, mirrored in rivers and lagoons. Fireflies emerge, shimmering along the reeds. The air hums with life, the croak of frogs, the rustle of reeds, the distant call of nocturnal birds. The wetlands are alive in every sense, a subtle symphony that reminds visitors of the quiet yet profound power of nature. In these hidden waterways, Zambia shows a softer, more reflective side of its wonder. It teaches patience, attentiveness, and reverence. Here, beauty is not loud or overwhelming. It is subtle, immersive, and unforgettable. The wetlands, lakes, and hidden rivers are not just landscapes, they are living systems that sustain life, culture, and memory. This chapter reminds us that Zambia's magic does not reside only in dramatic falls or expansive savannas. Sometimes, it flows silently, nourishes patiently, and glows softly in the light of dawn or sunset. In this gentle embrace of water and life, Zambia whispers one of its deepest truths. The most profound wonders are those that nurture, endure, and transform quietly. As Zambia's rivers, wetlands, and wilderness stretch endlessly across the landscape, its cities and towns offer a different kind of wonder, one that reflects the heartbeat of its people, the pulse of daily life, and the seamless blend of tradition and modernity. Here, the story of Zambia is not written only in landscapes or wildlife, but in human energy, resilience, and creativity. Lusaka, the vibrant capital, is the gateway to this side of Zambia. At first glance, it may seem ordinary, a growing city with streets bustling with cars, buses, and motorcycles weaving through traffic. Yet a closer look reveals its unique character. Markets overflowing with color, the smell of fresh food wafting through alleyways, street vendors calling out their wares with cheerful energy, and communities where life unfolds in a rhythm all its own. Every corner is alive with motion, every encounter an opportunity to witness the culture in action. The markets of Lusaka are a feast for the senses. Brightly woven baskets, hand-carved wooden figures, and vibrant textiles display the skill and artistry of Zambian craftsmen. Fresh fruits and vegetables, local spices, and traditional foods line stalls, inviting curious visitors to taste, touch, and explore. Bartering is not just transactional, it is a conversation, a social connection, and a reflection of the generosity that defines the Zambian spirit. Even in the busiest streets, there is warmth, a sense that community is more important than speed or efficiency. Away from the urban bustle, smaller towns reveal a slower, more deliberate pace of life. Here, traditions are maintained not as a spectacle, but as a natural part of existence. Children play in open fields, women prepare meals over clay fires, and elders sit beneath trees, sharing stories that preserve history and wisdom. Music and dance punctuate daily life, whether through spontaneous drum circles or rehearsed performances for special occasions. Every movement tells a story, every song connects generations. Zambia's cuisine also reflects this balance of tradition and innovation. Staples such as enshima, made from maize, form the foundation of meals, paired with vegetables, beans, fish, or meat, depending on region and season. Meals are communal, shared around a table or mat, reinforcing bonds and sustaining a sense of togetherness. Street food offers another layer of flavor and culture, from grilled meats to fried snacks, giving travelers a taste of Zambia's everyday life. Education, creativity, and enterprise also shine in Zambia's towns and cities. Schools, art studios, and workshops are spaces where tradition meets progress. Young artists paint murals inspired by wildlife and heritage. Entrepreneurs innovate in markets, blending modern techniques with traditional crafts. This blend of old and new highlights a nation embracing growth while remaining grounded in identity. Religion and spirituality remain central to Zambian life. Churches, temples, and sacred spaces dot towns and villages, echoing with hymns, chants, and prayers. Faith is woven into daily routines, community events, and personal milestones, reinforcing a moral and cultural framework that guides life in both urban and rural areas. Transportation and connectivity reveal another layer of Zambia's story. Buses and minibuses link cities, towns, and remote villages, allowing people to move, trade, and connect. Roads follow the curves of rivers and the contours of plains, reminding travelers that the land itself shapes the way people live and move. Yet despite the growing pace of urban life, Zambia retains its deep connection to the land. Rooftops overlook open fields, rivers flow through neighborhoods, markets open onto savanna backdrops. Even in cities, the wilderness feels present, a reminder that Zambia's identity is inseparable from its natural heritage. As the sun sets, cities transform. Neon lights flicker on, streets hum with conversation, and the air is filled with aromas of evening meals. Families gather at home, children laugh, and communities come alive in quieter, intimate ways. The rhythm of daily life slows without losing energy, reflecting the harmony that defines this nation. As the journey through Zambia reaches its final chapter, the full tapestry of this extraordinary land comes into view. From the thunderous roar of Victoria Falls to the quiet ripples of hidden waterways, from the endless savannahs teeming with life to the warmth of communities preserving their traditions, Zambia is a country that speaks to every sense. It is a place where nature and humanity coexist in delicate balance, and where every encounter leaves an imprint on the soul. The closing chapters of this adventure begin with a reflection on the interconnectedness of Zambia's landscapes. Rivers like the Zambezi and Luangwa are more than geographical features. They are lifelines that connect forests, wetlands, villages, and wildlife. Their currents shape the rhythm of life across the country, sustaining ecosystems, guiding migrations, and connecting people to the land in ways that are both practical and spiritual. Following these waterways is like following the pulse of Zambia itself, constant, patient, and life-giving. Victoria Falls, standing as the pinnacle of Zambia's natural spectacle, remains an unforgettable symbol of the country's power and beauty. Known locally as Mosi Oatunya, or the smoke that thunders, it is not merely a waterfall, but a living force. Millions of liters of water cascade over the edge each second, creating mist, rainbows, and a roar that echoes for miles. It is a place where one can feel the Earth's energy coursing through the air, a reminder of the primal forces that shaped this land long before human memory began. Yet Zambia's magic is not limited to moments of dramatic spectacle. In the quiet of South Luangwa, or Kafue National Park, life moves at a slower, more deliberate pace. Elephants wander across plains, giraffes graze among acacia trees, and leopards rest hidden in the shadows. Here, wildlife exists without interruption or confinement, offering a glimpse into how ecosystems function when left largely undisturbed. The balance between predator and prey, water and land, life and death, is witnessed firsthand, revealing the deep wisdom of nature itself. In lower Zambezi and beyond, rivers meet land in harmonious embrace. Canoe safaris glide silently past drinking elephants, herons, and hippos, allowing visitors to experience the wilderness without intrusion. The soft lapping of water against the canoe, the rustle of reeds, and the calls of birds create a symphony that is both calming and exhilarating. Every ripple carries a story, every movement a connection between human observer and the natural world. Zambia's wetlands, lakes, and hidden waterways offer yet another perspective, subtle, reflective, and profoundly moving. Lake Tanganyika, Lake Kariba, and the Bangweulu wetlands host species found nowhere else on Earth. Here, life thrives in its quiet abundance. Black lechwe wading gracefully through flooded grasslands, birds filling the skies with color, fishermen casting nets in harmony with seasonal rhythms. In these places, the magic is understated, but no less powerful, reminding us that wonder is often found in patience, observation, and respect for living systems. Human life in Zambia intertwines seamlessly with these landscapes. From Lusaka's vibrant streets to remote villages along the rivers, people live in rhythm with the land and water. Traditions thrive alongside modernity. Music, dance, and storytelling animate every community. Meals, shared with family and neighbors, nourish both body and spirit. The culture of Zambia is not a backdrop to the natural world. It is part of the ecosystem, as vital and enduring as the rivers themselves. As the sun begins to set across Zambia's diverse landscapes, a sense of continuity emerges. Mountains, rivers, forests, savannahs, and towns exist in harmony, connected by centuries of shared life. Nature's drama is balanced by human creativity and resilience. Chaos is tempered by rhythm. Power is tempered by patience. Every element contributes to a larger story, one of survival, beauty, and balance. As Zambia's landscapes continue to unfold, the harmony between its people and the land becomes increasingly apparent. In this part of the journey, we explore the delicate interdependence between human life, wildlife, and nature, a relationship that has endured for centuries. Zambia is not just a backdrop for adventure. It is a living system where every action, every tradition, and every choice resonates with the world around it. In villages along the Zambezi and Luangwa rivers, daily life flows with the rhythm of the land. Farmers rise with the sun, tending fields of maize, cassava, and vegetables, carefully timing planting and harvesting to coincide with seasonal rains. Children carry water, learn traditional skills, and observe elders, absorbing knowledge passed down through generations. Life here is not hurried. It is deliberate, shaped by patterns of nature rather than modern clocks. Local communities play a vital role in conserving Zambia's natural wealth. From collaborative wildlife management initiatives to ecotourism projects, people understand that survival depends on respect for the land and its creatures. In regions bordering national parks, locals work alongside rangers to protect elephants, lions, and rare antelope species. Farmers employ techniques that minimize conflict with wildlife, ensuring both livelihoods and biodiversity thrive. This integration of human activity with ecological preservation is a model of sustainable coexistence rarely seen elsewhere. Education has also become a bridge between tradition and progress. Schools incorporate lessons on wildlife, ecosystems, and responsible resource use, fostering a generation that values both culture and conservation. Young people learn to read the land, identify animal tracks, and understand the intricate connections that sustain life in their communities. Knowledge is power here, not just for survival, but for ensuring that Zambia's wonders endure for generations to come. Evenings in rural Zambia are a celebration of culture and community. Drums echo across open plains, accompanied by traditional dances that convey stories of ancestors, animals, and the seasons. Songs rise and fall, with voices that carry joy, sorrow, and wisdom. These gatherings are more than entertainment. They are living rituals that reinforce identity, strengthen bonds, and honor the balance between humans and nature. Meanwhile, the land itself continues to teach. In South Luangwa, one can witness predator-prey interactions unfold naturally. Lions moving silently through tall grass, impalas alert and agile, vultures circling patiently above. Each encounters a lesson in survival, adaptation, and the interconnectedness of life. Observing these moments reinforces the understanding that humans are part of this system, not separate from it. Zambia's wetlands, such as the Bangweulu, further highlight this interdependence. Here, black lechwe and countless bird species depend on seasonal flooding cycles that also sustain agriculture and fishing for local communities. The land provides, nurtures, and demands respect in return. Those who live in harmony with these patterns thrive, while those who disrupt them risk consequences, both ecological and social. Cultural practices also honor the land in subtle ways. Rituals during planting and harvest seasons acknowledge the importance of rainfall, soil fertility, and animal life. Storytelling preserves lessons about respecting predators, protecting water sources, and understanding weather patterns. These traditions are more than history. They are practical wisdom embedded in culture, ensuring humans live sustainably within a complex ecosystem. Even in Zambia's cities, connections to nature are maintained. Lusaka and other urban centers feature parks, community gardens, and rivers that provide both recreation and ecological function. Farmers markets bring rural abundance into the city, keeping traditions alive even as modern life accelerates. The balance between urban growth and ecological awareness demonstrates that respect for nature can persist even in a rapidly changing world. As night falls, Zambia transforms once again. Stars shimmer with extraordinary clarity over savannahs and wetlands. The calls of nocturnal wildlife rise in a chorus that resonates through the land. Villagers sit near fires, sharing stories and songs, their voices mingling with the sounds of hippos, elephants, and distant lions. In these moments, the seamless connection between humans and the wild becomes palpable, an understanding that life in Zambia is richer when all beings coexist in balance. As the final chapter of the Zambian journey unfolds, the full grandeur of the nation comes together, a breathtaking synthesis of land, water, wildlife, and humanity. This is the moment where every river, savanna, forest, and village coalesces into a living story, leaving an indelible impression of a land both wild and deeply connected to those who inhabit it. Zambia is more than a destination. It is an experience, a teacher, and a reminder of the enduring power of nature and culture working in harmony. The savanna stretches endlessly, painted in shades of gold and green, dotted with acacia trees and grazing herds. Elephants wander gracefully, their massive forms commanding respect without threat. Giraffes nibble from the treetops, moving with a calm elegance. Predators observe silently, every moment a lesson in survival, patience, and instinct. The cycles of life here are ancient and unbroken, a reminder that the rhythm of the wild is not dictated by human schedules, but by the natural balance that sustains everything. Water continues to shape the story of Zambia. The Zambezi and Luangwa rivers, along with hidden streams, wetlands, and lakes, create a network of life. Hippos surface in calm lagoons, crocodiles glide unseen beneath rippling waters, and countless bird species animate the skies with vibrant color and sound. Rainbows appear over waterfalls and floodplains, reflecting sunlight on liquid mirrors that transform the landscape into living art. Water is both sustenance and spectacle, gentle and powerful, nourishing and commanding. In the bush, quiet moments are as profound as dramatic encounters. Observing wildlife at dawn, when mist lifts from the grass and the first birds take flight, offers a sense of immersion rarely found elsewhere. The soft rustle of leaves, the distant rumble of elephants, and the call of a fish eagle overhead remind travelers that they are visitors in an ecosystem far older than humanity. Here, humility is earned and awe is constant. Zambia's people remain central to this story. Across villages and towns, communities demonstrate resilience, warmth, and a profound connection to the land. Farming, fishing, crafting, and storytelling are not just daily activities. They are expressions of identity and respect for the world around them. Traditional ceremonies, like the Kuomboka, link the present to the past, honoring ancestors while reinforcing the harmony between human life and the environment. Music, dance, and shared meals nurture bonds that are as vital as water or soil. The national parks, such as South Luangwa, Lower Zambezi, and Kafue, reveal the scale and diversity of Zambia's wilderness. Here, conservation is not just about protection, it is about coexistence. Rangers, scientists, and local communities collaborate to ensure ecosystems remain healthy and balanced. By preserving habitats for endangered species and promoting sustainable practices, they honor the delicate web of life that defines Zambia. The result is a place where humans can experience wild Africa in its most authentic form, untamed, immersive, and awe-inspiring. As the sun sets over plains, rivers, and hills, Zambia transforms once again. The sky ignites in deep oranges, purples, and golds, mirrored in water and plains alike. Nocturnal life awakens, hippos grunting in the distance, lions calling across the plains, and insects filling the air with a rhythmic hum. Stars appear with incredible clarity, a celestial reflection of the wonder below. In these final hours, the unity of land, water, life, and culture becomes undeniable. Reflecting on this journey, Zambia's greatest lesson emerges. True wonder lies in connection. Connection between humans and nature, between past and present, between action and consequence. Every river, tree, animal, and village is part of a story that transcends time. Visitors leave not only with memories of beauty and adventure, but with a sense of responsibility, respect, and gratitude for a land that continues to thrive despite the pressures of a changing world. Zambia is a place of contrasts: thunderous waterfalls and quiet wetlands, vast savannahs and intimate villages, predatory power and gentle coexistence. Yet in these contrasts, there is balance. Every element supports another. Every ecosystem, every community, every moment woven into a tapestry of life that is resilient, intricate, and unforgettable. As this chapter closes, the final truth becomes clear. Zambia is more than a destination to be seen. It is a place to be felt, understood, and honored. Its rivers, plains, forests, wildlife, and people teach lessons about resilience, coexistence, and the profound beauty of the natural world. From the roar of Victoria Falls to the quiet glimmer of a wetland at sunrise, from the laughter of children in a village to the solemn presence of a lion on the savannah, Zambia leaves a mark on every heart that enters its embrace. The journey may end, but the wonder lingers. Zambia is timeless, living, and extraordinary, a country that reminds us why the world is still capable of inspiring awe, humility, and deep, lasting admiration. It is a place that, once experienced, stays with you forever, flowing like its great rivers, powerful yet patient, immense yet intimately personal. As the sun sets over Zambia's endless plains, rivers, and forests, one truth becomes undeniable: this land is alive in every sense of the word. Its wildlife, waters, and people are intertwined in a harmony that has endured through time, teaching lessons of patience, balance, and respect. Zambia is not just a place to visit. It is a story to witness, a feeling to experience, and a memory that will stay with you forever. From the roaring power of Victoria Falls to the quiet beauty of its wetlands, from vibrant villages to vast, wild savannas, Zambia reminds us that wonder still exists in the world, waiting for those willing to see it, feel it, and honor it. This is Zambia, timeless, extraordinary, unforgettable. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.